One, two, three, and action.
Welcome back to the Standing on Business podcast. Today we're going to be doing our 120-day check-in. It's day 57. I don't know. It is day 57. I don't know if you guys noticed. Not yet, but here we are. We are missing one chair tonight. And the simple truth is, consistency is not as easy as it sounds, and we want to be completely transparent about these sort of things. We're trying our best to be ongoing and forthcoming towards our goals and accountable, of course. But sometimes life gets in the way and commitments become more priority than the other. And I completely understand. We completely understand. But that's kind of the challenge that we face through our diligence and through the ambitions that we have. We want to be greater. We want to be better. We want to try harder. But the truth is, life gets in the way.
It's hard.
It is. Life gets in the way. That's for sure. So what we want to try to implement and try to encourage everybody is just keep standing on business.
Yep.
Stand on business as much as you can. Guys, also let me know if my mic is a little too loud. I'm doing my best to kind of just dial everything in. Like I said, this is our we're second podcast with, professional equipment. But like I said before, it's tough. You try to be disciplined. You try to be consistent. You say you're going to go into the gym every morning, and then you decide, it's a little more challenging than you would originally anticipate.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely. Everyone wants to be better, right? We all have that little voice in our head that wants better, wants more, wants this, wants that. The truth is it's hard, man. And that's the whole premise of this podcast. That's why we're so dedicated on meeting up every week. It's not easy for us to clear this time out of our schedule to go over, notes and take homework and stuff like that. But it's something that we genuinely have a burning desire for inside of us, that we know we want to become better. We want to stand on business. That's the whole premise of this podcast, right? And
staying consistent is a tough one.
As you guys can see, it's hard, man. Everybody wants to, be on a podcast. Everybody wants to do this or do that. But you do it for, 30 days, 40 days, 50 days starts coming around. We're on day 57. Michael and I are actually on pushing probably closer to day 60, 63, 65. But we're counting it from a couple days.
A certain period of time.
That's our own thing. But yeah, totally. We totally understand, man. But yeah, just shout out to Ryan. We love you. We love you, guy. And, we all
hopefully, the guy's already been light years ahead of us.
Yeah, no, totally. As you guys,
he was a great addition to the show, and I was really glad to have him on and be able to contribute as much as he did for the time being. But it's time for us to do our thing, stand on business. It's just two of us now.
Absolutely, and we actually had this conversation, right? Because it would have been easy to just not touch on this subject, right? But we want to be transparent with you guys. We want you guys and everyone to feel as though we can share our wins and losses. It's hard, bro. We all realize this, and we all, it's hard. But that's the reason why we're doing this, is so we can have a place to all keep each other motivated and disciplined and hold each other accountable. And
100%.
So just shout out to everybody who's been watching. We love you guys, man. You guys really been keeping us fueled,
accountable.
Keeping us
to say the least,
keeping us fueled, and that's absolutely awesome. But yeah, so we can move on from that topic. We just wanted to touch on that for a quick second.
Definitely. And we are going to be talking more so about what our topic of today is going to be. And our topic of today is time management and how to, maximize your time effectively. Every day comes with so many hours. Really,
not so many, 24.
And if it only comes with a certain number of hours. how you choose to make those hours effective is up to you. You can wake up at 10 a.m. and just kind of mosey through each hour, but then you realize where the heck the time went. And I'm not talking about the rest days, the take it easy days. We all have those days that it's important to take it easy, but you also need to take into account when it's time to make every hour effective. If you're gonna make a day worth working and a day that you're gonna do what you have to do, you might as well make every hour effective.
Maximize every amount of time you have during that day. If it's a working day, you might as well work that day.
Yeah,
right?
100%. So we talked a little bit about what in the beginning of our week after our last podcast. Kind of want to touch on that as well. Okay. We talked a little bit about what systems we're going to implement. And the system that I figured might be good is to wake up at 5 a.m. and get to the gym. As far as a fitness system, I like that you had that fitness and health system idea set up for yourself. How far have you gotten in the last week or so in your fitness and health systems?
Yeah, so starting strong. I think I actually started. So we did the podcast Friday, so I think that weekend I carried it over into the weekend just because I wanted to really, make it a full week. So by the time we were doing the podcast this Friday, I had a full 7 days, right? So yeah, starting that weekend, the previous weekend, I've noticed a huge change in my mental clarity, in my energy levels, all these things simply by implementing a morning routine. It's always something, and everyone kind of knows to have a structured morning routine. We know this from going to school as elementary kids. We wake up, we brush our teeth, we shower, eat breakfast, we go walk to the bus stop. It's a morning routine. It sets us up for the day. We need to be carrying that with us into our work days, into our adult life, And so for me, it's something I've lacked on. Most days I'm sleeping till the absolute last minute that I can before I have to get to work, right? I'm even justifying I could be 5 minutes late today. I need the sleep. I need the extra,
right.
whatever. Dude, kick that voice. It's so much more rewarding just as soon as you wake up, the first thought that enters your mind, at least for me, it's just snooze that alarm. If you're able to conquer that voice, if you're able to defeat that voice, that's already a win. And just starting off that morning with that little win, it helps everything. I get to the, within the last 2 days, I've been waking up at 4:30, getting to the gym by 5, being back home by 6, in the shower, breakfast made by 7, work clothes, boots, everything at the door.
Nice.
At work by 8, and man, like I said, energy levels.
Nice.
Just my mental clarity, my mental health.
I'm telling you, it's effectiveness. It's really just effectiveness. Every hour is about effectiveness. If you're effective for at least 16 to 17 hours a day, you're going to create a mass amount of motion. And for you, I mean, that's very powerful. You start, I mean, that's a good change from where you were, and for me too, I've also been following this, this 5 a.m. change. I really like that.
How's it been though? How's it been for you? How do you have that same type of little voice that kind of tells you to snooze that alarm in the morning or what? I feel like all of us kind of do,
Like I said before on the show, it is definitely accountability that helps.
Yeah.
Definitely the fact that I have the team, you guys,
Shout out
Robert,
to Big Rob.
It's hard to go without actually showing up. So I tried my best to show up every day.
Even on those 4-hour, 5-hour sleep, those nights where you I only got 5 hours.
There are times. Huh? Yeah, there are times. Definitely.
Gotta get this money.
Absolutely, gotta stand on business. Absolutely. Hashtag stand on business. Let's make it happen, you guys.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it go viral.
I want to shout out everybody that decided to tap in. I hope you guys are staying hydrated. I hope you guys are staying effective and doing everything you guys have to do. Again, we are talking about time management today, and we are going to go back and recap on our systems. The thing we talked about last week. Jake had mentioned a little bit about his fitness goals, his health goals, and he kind of explained a little bit about what kind of fitness goals he has been working on the past 5 days. 7 days now, right?
Yeah, 7 days.
And he's been doing his best as far as getting to the gym at 5 a.m. We've consistently seen the same people at the gym at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
That to me, that I love that. Like,
It's
I
a
love.
win in itself.
I like
We're all
seeing
winning.
these same people
Yeah.
at the gym in the morning. It's really cool.
There's something nice about that. Huh?
Yeah, it's like a community, but I mean, I have my headphones in. If it weren't for you, I would be in my own world.
You know, hey, no, you know who you are.
5
If it
a.m.
wasn't for
club,
you,
we
girl.
see you guys.
I'm just joking.
No,
That
definitely.
little cutie in the gym.
No, but for me, I have tapped in a little bit more into my financial game. And I did, as soon as we got off of last week's podcast, jump on that app we spoke about, Every dollar.
Yeah.
right? And I did tap in a little bit. There's a feature where you can tap in your, bank accounts, your debts, and this, that.
Oh, that's the pro version. You got the pro version, huh?
I went
all
ahead and I went
in.
ahead.
That boy's dedicated.
I want to it cost me more money to be frivolous than it will be to be frugal.
You're gonna see that money. It's gonna pay for itself within the first,
100%.
month or so, whatever at time X. But yeah, it's gonna pay for itself.
I'll be able
Without
to manage my money. I mean, I have a little bit of an issue with that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys here on the podcast. I have a bit of a issue with keeping it real with
Managing the
myself.
money,
The money management, financial wellness, and that's kind of one of my biggest goals here on the 120 challenge. So that's kind of the one thing I want to focus on the most. And the last week, like I said, I had implemented Every Dollar. It's a resource, an app that's available on iOS, I think Android as well. And if you guys want, check it out. I think it's cool. I mean, they're not paying me to say this, but I was just introduced. It is Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey's app.
Ramsey.
That's kind of why I suggest it. Dave Ramsey's a sharp financial investor. Or financial advisor, sorry. But anyways, I have gone deep into that whole realm. I actually ended up with organizing my money through that app. I ended up finding a little extra capital to put towards some index funds.
Nice.
Okay. And some long-term company plays.
Long-term investments, huh?
Yeah.
Little,
So
little,
hopefully,
little wins.
yeah.
Bro.
So a little bit of financial
Congrats,
wins on my end. I'm very excited about that.
I'm excited for you. That's awesome.
I know I explained, towards my other goals. I haven't actually worked towards my second SoundCloud. My second SoundCloud upload, but I am going to see really soon how effective I can make that a possibility. So look out really soon. Look out for my link, High Fuse, on Twitch and SoundCloud, and I'll send the link below if you guys are interested.
Absolutely.
It's my DJ setup.
Shout out that boy.
Very exciting for me. I love that sort of stuff. But beyond that, I am working hard in the gym. Hard my. It's honestly hard for me to be spiritually or like emotionally orientated towards my goals because I just don't have the time. And it's sad to say that, but I feel like I need to be more aware of my when to work,
yeah.
because as a self-employed type,
Yeah, you have no boss to say you are the boss. Generally speaking,
Right.
You have no one saying hey, you got to be here at fucking 8:00 this morning or whatever.
So I work every day, and
you don't stop. Basically, it doesn't stop.
and there's no one also telling me hey, this is your day to take off,
That's true.
enjoy yourself for today.
I never even realized that. Yeah,
Take today, and every day I work. I wake up thinking I need to work. I need to make some phone calls. I need to follow up. I need to do this. I need to do that.
Yeah.
I need to make some posts. I need to do the different things that I need to do. But I feel like I'm not actually spending time on
taking that little rest day when you need it, huh?
mental clarity.
It's because I know why. It's because we're you're hungry. You're ready to kill and or do all this stuff, right? To like get the money.
I realize that there's too many people my age doing things far beyond what I've even
could fathom,
perceive,
right?
you know. But I do definitely, I try to balance that out, and I try to be more aware, that it's not a race. It's more of my own story rather than like.
Yeah, it's definitely not a race. We're like you said, it's our own story. But I feel like it's very good to be hungry and to stay hungry. I feel like once we lose that edge, we kind of start to get comfortable. That's when you start to get fat. That's when you start to get lazy. That's when you lose muscle. That's when you get weak. We have to stay hungry and keep that edge. But that's where time management is so effective. We can't neglect. And dude, I literally had the conversation with my boss today. He's like, "Oh, you don't want to work Saturday?" I'm like, "Dude, it's not that I don't want to work Saturday. It's just that I need, for my mental and my time management, I just need you need to be able to give me a day in advance, or not just a day in advance. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I plan my week out. I'm very structured right now.
Right.
So it's like if you know there's gonna be work Saturday, hey, let me know Monday. Like, hey, we might have work Saturday, Jake. Just give you a heads up.
Different priorities too.
Bring it on me, you know, because a year ago, I would have jumped all over that. Oh, any work, all the work, give me all the work. But dude, I need to take a step back for a second and realize, okay, money's good, money's okay. I need to focus on Jake for a second as well.
Time, energy.
You know,
there's different factors to success and your equation to getting successful, and it's not just about the money that you're making, but it's also about the energy that you're saving and the time that you're using effectively and building towards. I mean, you can make all the money in the world, but if you're not utilizing your own time and health and wealth effectively, you're gonna burn out and you're gonna need to pay for that extra
comes back, dude. It all comes back one way or another,
right?
Either you might as well take the time out of your day and plan for it ahead instead of it biting you in the ass.
So that's actually a good part of today's topic. There's a section we're going to talk a little bit about on kind of taking a break throughout your your daily process when you're working very hard and let's say you're someone that's a self-starter or maybe even a self-entrepreneur that you're self-employed. It's important to work hard and take these strong intervals in time, but also realize that you need to have a short period of time that you schedule for yourself. Call it a lunch break, call it a break, but there is a good portion of time to where it's important for you to take a break, breathe every day. Meditation, even if it's a meditation for a simple 2 to 3 minutes behind your workspace. But anyways, we'll keep going on. I'm really excited, like I said, about this time management. That is a little bit about where my systems have gone, and I do want to really quickly challenge Jake to kind of put something in his system book for next week, and then we can kind of talk about that.
Okay. What do you have in mind for me?
I'm thinking. Let me see here. I'm gonna come up with something on the spot.
On the spot? Is that what we're doing here? Yeah.
I'm gonna come up with something on the spot for you. I think it'd be very beneficial if you were to prioritize counting a system towards I guess.
Give it to me straight. Tell me how it is.
I guess it's gonna be about fitness and health. It's still gonna be in the same category.
Come on, man. No, what are you trying to? Well, yeah, but okay, but yeah. What do you have in mind?
Let's implement a little bit stronger strategy. Let's go ahead and
I like that.
Let's go ahead and get you. Let's challenge you to track the number of reps that you do per body part.
And this is stuff I should be doing anyways.
Let me hear it. I want to hear that you have this many.
That's fair. Okay.
Reps per set.
And with what this way or whatnot.
Right. Let's start off with a bit of a challenge in the realm that we're used to, right? The realm that we're already kind of gonna, because I mean we're not very strong, and I mean shoot, go ahead and challenge me for something that you think.
Okay, well then, not a fitness challenge necessarily per se in the gym, but I challenge you not to drink for a week. What do you think?
Wow. challenge me not to drink. The live stream needs me. I'm just kidding. The live stream needs me to have a couple drinks sometimes. No, I'm just kidding.
Is that
but shout out to Femme for Life. Much love. We appreciate you.
Hell yeah. Shout out.
Thanks for honing in and letting us know
chatter.
Any feedback we can get. We're super excited about that. But yes, I mean, you tell the guy the live stream needs me to be a little loosened up. No, but that's definitely a challenge that I'm willing to take.
Yeah,
that's definitely a challenge that I'm willing to take forth, and let's do it. Count. You count.
I count for
your reps.
No, yeah, I will every day from starting tomorrow.
Right?
Yeah, starting tomorrow. I'll take my notepad with me.
I'm not gonna count how many days I go without drinking beer, but I'm gonna
just count how many days. All right, so here.
If I have a major slip, I'm not gonna be like, dude, I'm gonna. If I have a beer like next Thursday or whatever, I'm not obviously gonna try my best.
Fine. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not saying fucking,
but
it's the end of the world. But yeah, no, just be aware. Like, I'm gonna look at you different. Like, damn, this fool can't even. Like, I'm tracking my shit. I'm doing what he said for me to do.
I'm gonna do my. Like I said, I might make it till Friday. I might even make it till Friday.
He might even go 2 weeks.
Who knows?
You don't know this guy.
Hey,
like I know this guy.
But watch like Thursday before the podcast. Like, you know what? I need a beer.
I know, yeah.
All right, Friday before the next podcast next week. I'm like, hey, I made it this far, dude. Like, but I had a beer, whatever. So who knows what's gonna happen? I'll do that. I appreciate that challenge.
Yeah. No, you don't appreciate it, but
is there any challenges that you guys have for us in the chat? I mean, if you guys want,
I want to challenge some people. Like, I want to,
I'm here.
I want to challenge some people, some things. Like, maybe next week we'll come up with a challenge for you guys. So whoever's watching now, tune in next week. Obviously, like, we're gonna be doing the same thing. This is genuinely my outlet. This is what I love to do nowadays, and it's beautiful to find something. I love finding new things like this. Like, it's awesome. But just stay consistent with us. That's all we ask. That'll be something that I write down. I'm gonna create a challenge for the viewers.
Yeah.
Some way, one way or another.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun to get everybody interacted and kind of just. I really like. I mean, my girl Ari, she's great. Jeez. My girl right there. She I asked her to provide some feedback, and that's perfect. I love that so much. I hope that we get some more feedback like that.
It adds value, It helps us.
Definitely, and I want to provide some value to you guys too, to challenge you guys as the viewers to get interactive with us in some way or another. Hey, I love it.
Oh, she's down.
I love it.
Let's go.
Also, that's exactly the point. Also, exactly. We're trying to learn from, obviously, me. That's what the point of me and Jake. We're trying to be progressive with each other and try to challenge each other. But also, we started this podcast to be on a premise of let's challenge each other, but also challenge viewers and people that want to grow too. Because I know there's plenty of people that get drunk a lot and might not want to get so drunk so often or whatever, or smoke too much pot all the time. And I mean, it's not about being perfect. It's not about being number one. And dude, we all have problems. We all have
our
demons, habits, bad whatever. Yeah. Let's just work towards each other, towards that, and be better. And one of the most important things that premises that I stand on personally, it's better to be, how they say, a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a warrior. In a war.
A gardener at war.
Gardener in a war. Yeah. I mean, we have to stay diligent and we have to stay sharp no matter how great times become. Because another one, let me throw another one at you guys.
Yeah, let me hear it.
I said this earlier. I'm trying to remember how to say it perfectly. Wow. Good times create hard men. Strong men. Not hard, sounds weird. No. Good times create weak men.
There you go.
And weak men create... God, I'm having a hard time remembering how that guy said it.
Well, that's why we gotta stop drinking for a week.
Yeah, I guess so. No, but there's a good quote behind that, and it's really just essentially saying that the better things are, the more we become weak and quiet and dormant.
Uh-huh.
And the harder things become, we start to realize that there's a challenge in life.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we stay vigilant in the challenges and or even the resilient times in life, the chill.
Be the warrior in the garden,
100%.
Be mellow enough to go out and water your flowers, and like Bruce Lee said it best, be like water. Water can flow or water can crash. Be very powerful or be very fluid, however you have to be in any situation. But the key is training every day for those scenarios, right?
Definitely.
Staying ready so you don't have to get ready.
Absolutely.
I'm trained to go.
Absolutely.
And my hand's feeling a lot better too. So
don't get on this guy's bad side. He's ready to go.
You wouldn't want to run into this guy.
Ready to burn. How much fun! I love that. Anyways, I do want to ask you, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about time management, and I think a really important part of time management, is a solid morning routine.
Yeah.
There's activities that energize you, whether it's exercise, meditation, or a healthy breakfast. I don't know. Could you tell me what are some activities you personally find energizing for a productive morning?
Right. So I'm just now realizing the importance of a morning routine. It's always kind of been subconsciously there. Like, obviously I got to get up and take a shower, brush my teeth, but time management is effectively helping me prioritize my morning, and I'm noticing within just a week the direct translation from it. The positive. Not so much negative at all. I'm not the whole thing is if I wake up at 4:30, I'm gonna be so tired and I'm gonna be all this. I'm not noticing that. I have to drink caffeine throughout the day, but I was drinking caffeine throughout the day when I was waking up at 10 o'clock. Just let me wake up and drink. There's no difference. And I honestly feel more energized at this time compared to what I would be feeling if I would have woke up at noon or whatever.
Absolutely.
Who knows? I don't know what the science is behind this, but having a morning routine for me has definitely it's been changing my life. It's something that I'm going to adopt for permanent. But back to the question, something that keeps me, what was it? Not motivated, but energetic. What was it? Energized?
Energizing for a productive.
The gym for me. It's the gym, dude. It literally gets my blood flowing. I get that pre-workout in me. I start itching, smack myself.
You have to get to work because otherwise you're just gonna itch like a motherfucker, right? Yeah.
So that for sure. That gym grind, man, and.
It's that burst of fresh air,
dude. It's a breath of fresh air. It's literally.
You're in your whatever you're sleeping in your cocoon of whatever the heck you sleep in, and you breathe that air. But when you finally get out of that air, let's say you step outside, and I know it's probably a crazy idea to step outside at 5 a.m. because it's so cold and you're
wet, can't see shit. But I love it, and you know why I love it is because everyone else is cozy in their beds, and I'm choosing on purpose.
But you get up, and I think I told you this earlier. If you don't get up and get it, there's somebody else that wants it more than you that's gonna get up and get it.
They don't want it more than me. I promise.
Do they want it more than you? Is the question.
That was the first thing I thought of when this fool told me that last night or yesterday, or texted it in the group chat. I don't even know where the words came from, but the first thought in my head this morning was, the other dude who wants it at 5, who I keep seeing, whoever he is, whoever they are, they don't want it as
They
bad
want it
as
more
me.
than you. No. If you're not there, bro,
they're gonna be there. I see the same people there every morning, and I'm gonna start telling these motherfuckers hey, you guys are keeping me motivated. Thank you. Or for instance, any type of person, you're keeping me motivated. Seeing people every morning.
One thing I was gonna mention, and we got the question in the chat right now. Shout out Femme for Life. I love it. You guys are asking so many valuable questions. What do you suggest to someone that's dealing with mental health and can't stay consistent with a morning routine? Mm-hmm. Powerful.
That was very powerful.
Because we all deal with it. Believe it or not, we're all dealing with a mental illness.
Yeah, we're sick.
Addiction, bad just hygiene. these harsh things that we have to honestly don't want to even conversate about.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's not sexy. It's ugly. Yeah.
It's not a sexy conversation. It's my favorite thing to say. I love that. But seriously, I definitely suggest, for even when it's hard to get up and get out, just realize that it's the most effective thing for you to do is even just go for. Sometimes, and not everybody has the luxury to just get in a car and go, but sometimes I used to be like, you know what, I'm not having a powerful motivational morning today, and I know what's going to help. I didn't know that this would help, but I had to maybe go to the post office or whatever, and it was a certain time. This is what kind of caught my attention at the time. It was very attention grabbing that like I had to go to the post office that morning to like not get, whatever the situation was. I felt an urgency to get to the post office that morning, so I went, and I realized it was early in the morning how
beautiful the day was.
And it just woke me up. I woke up so much more effective, and like from that moment on, I was like, my day started. I need to get going now. Now that I went for this little drive down the street, the post office is only a block or two away. I went for a little drive just to get some. The sun was rising. Things were happening. Kids were going to school, and it just, you kind of see life, and it kind of just opens you up, and it's. Obviously, it's an obvious thing. You think of those things like, yeah, birds are chirping, whatever. The sun's rising, obviously, the heck. But when you go out and you experience it and you feel it, it's very impactful being in that moment, and you're there, and you're like, it's time to go. It's time to get going. I'm on this little drive, and it's not even about going to the post office. I know I kind of said that, but like, it's about sometimes if you can't just get started, just get started. Get your jacket on.
It's the hardest part is getting started, and
go to the Starbucks. Go to Starbucks and just if you have nothing else to do, go to Starbucks and just start writing in your notepad like what you plan to do for the day. Another very impactful thing that we're going to talk about today is time blocking.
Before we get to that, I would like to also just add on to her question. That was a very good question. Sometimes, because like, dealing with mental illness, depression, that kind of stuff, not everyone deals with things the same way, right? So like for instance, the way Mike explained it, he might have not felt the similar things that you're describing. But one thing that I've noticed dealing with mental illness and stuff like that is it's hard to want to do anything. It's hard to it's very difficult sometimes to even I don't even want to shower. I don't even want to brush my teeth. I don't even want to eat. I don't even want to get out of bed. I'd rather just lay here and just. So for me, one thing that I've been telling myself a lot of late is that we're always gonna suffer. Like when when you're in those depressive states or whatever, you're suffering, dude. Like you're suffering and it doesn't feel good, and it also sucks. It's basically suffering to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. But I genuinely feel way better doing it. I don't feel. I'm not making myself sick with depression and, not taking care of myself properly. So that would be my suggestion, is just realizing what you want your suffer to be. Do you want to suffer in a bed, in a dark house, in a dark room? Nobody wants that. Like, I know it's hard to pull yourself out of that. That's the hardest part, is getting back into a rhythm, getting back into I would say the first thing is establishing a why. Why do you want to even not be depressed? Why do you want to cure your depression? Why? Like, is there, like, if you don't have a why,
have those mental conversations.
If you don't even have a why do you deserve to not be depressed? You see what I'm saying? So have these conversations with yourself and learn to love who you are. You're your number one person, and we gotta remember that sometimes. And then also, we did skip over a first time chatter. I want to shout out to Don D. Co. He actually reiterated what you were trying to say. I don't know if he or she but shout out to you. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times, and good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. It's a constant cycle. I was going to correct you because I know that off the top of my head, and that's one of my favorite
I was hoping for somebody to say something.
I didn't necessarily want to be that guy, this is it. But shout out to you because, like...
No, I think that was great. I was waiting for that, and I really do shout out Don D. Co.
That was awesome.
Much love.
But anyway, sorry, to get back to the...
No, definitely no. And that's very important. Like I said, I mean, it is hard to just get up and go. I completely understand that. But once you can,
Once you can.
Get that, establish that why, have that mental conversation with yourself and let yourself know, like, I don't want to be this depressed person.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I depressed? Why do I want to not be depressed? Mm-hmm. And not even dive too deep into that, because obviously that creates other anxiety that we don't even want to talk about.
Yeah.
And
I would just say, don't label yourself.
Don't.
If you don't want to be depressed, then tell yourself, I'm not depressed. I'm not a depressed person. I'm
gonna get up. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go. Like I said, it's really like, if you have the capacity to get up and just walk down to your local park and just maybe just catch a couple minutes of breathing techniques, meditation, writing down on your notepad if you can, or even your notepad on your phone. You could text out little note keys, and then you can just kind of like look at the sunrise, the birds chirp, you feel you're in that moment. Then you're there, then you are a part of life. You're experiencing life for what it is.
You're a part of life, and that directly helps depression, anxiety, everything. Now imagine how it is for the people in third world countries where they have no choice but to be a part of life. They have to go out and breathe the air. They don't get the luxury of sitting in a home all day, and they don't get the luxury of feeling depressed. Let that sink in. I do believe in mental illness. I'm a big believer in it. Sorry about that camera angle. I'm a big believer in mental illness, but I do know this for a fact.
It's very important, like you said. It's prioritizing your purpose. Identifying the most crucial tasks, for what's important to you. And that's kind of segues into our next question.
Nice.
How would someone identify and prioritize your most crucial purpose or task, or even a better one? Can you even share an experience where you're focusing on priorities that led to your most prioritized task?
My most prioritized, I can't really necessarily dive it into like my most prized or my most prioritized.
I think for us, we've been doing this podcast.
All I can speak of, I've been so dialed in this last week. That's all I can really speak on is like this last week. Like that's where all my focus has been going into. Is trying to just dial in the best week, right, and then just relive it over and over and over again. But yeah, no, for me, for instance, just showing up to work after a successful morning routine, it directly translated into just my mental clarity and my energy levels. I feel like I said this before, but I just feel better.
Yeah.
It helped the day go by. I'm not looking at the clock every hour, checking, is it lunch yet? Can I go take a break? Can I like go run away to the bathroom? It's just the day goes by easy.
I think right now is what I'm gathering. Health and fitness should be almost everybody's number one priority to move forward with their time management, their blocking. Because when you start to prioritize your health and fitness, you start to prioritize, maybe not so much the dieting part, but maybe even just getting into the gym and pushing yourself in the gym.
Just even going for a walk. If you're not ready, because like not everyone is ready. Like I struggled with this for a long time. I wanted to be fit. I wanted to be in the gym. I wanted to go work out. But I wasn't ready. I'm not ready. I'm mentally not ready. Whatever that means, who knows?
Yeah.
I'm starting to realize now you're never ready for anything.
No.
Another good quote that I heard recently is the best time to start something is when you're not ready, or is when times are hard, right? Like the best time to start going to the gym is when you have no time to go to the gym, because anybody can start doing something when times are good, right? When times are easy, anybody can start going to the gym. I got all this time. I'm not working, or I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. I can start going to the gym. But then you fall off when times get hard. I had to start picking up more extra hours.
But when it's difficult and you actually show up at the times that it's hard, when it becomes easy, you're like, this is easy.
It's a cheat code. Come on now. It's a cheat code. That way you don't fall off, because you're already so used to it being hard that when times get good, it's just like, let's ride this wave for as long as we can, because we know times are going to get hard again. And when they do, I'm ready for them.
Yeah. Yeah, again, it goes back into the being a warrior
Yeah,
in a garden. You're
absolutely. Stay ready.
always ready, no matter what.
I stay ready. I ain't gotta get ready, boy.
Exactly, and that's the most powerful thing one kid can implement.
But to get back, if you're not ready to get in the gym, if you're not mentally ready, not everybody is. I mean, if your legs work, if you can move, if you can walk around, 15-20 minute walk outside when the sun's setting, when if you're a morning person, go when the sun's coming out. If you're not a morning person, like the next comment we just got, go at nighttime. Let's not nighttime, but when the sun's setting. There's something about being in that orange setting of like the sun, and like just take it in, just take a deep breath. We're never gonna get this moment back. We're never, like,
No, 100%, and it's so powerful for you to be able to push yourself beyond the what you didn't think you can do. You didn't think you can go out for a walk.
mm-hmm.
You go out for that walk at 6 in the morning to watch the sunrise, and you finally do it. You realize, why couldn't I have done this before?
Yeah, it's not as hard as
hard. And then you start to push yourself. And I mean, again, accountability helps with accountability partners, type stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the more you push yourself and you realize your growth through you going out for that 6 a.m. walk, then you end up at the 6 a.m. treadmill at the gym. Then you end up doing 6 a.m. treadmill just to get your cardio going. Then you start pushing weights while you're at the gym. And then you start becoming a weight, you start exercising and becoming your fitness becomes your main priority. And like I was saying a second ago, if you were to prioritize your fitness and your health, the rest just kind of comes. The rest comes along with it. And
no, the rest comes easy after that. No, I also agree. The first thing anybody should work on if they're wanting to get better is your health. Our health is our wealth. At the end of the day, we can work ourselves to the grave, but our health.
You got to work hard for your wealth, for your health, because this is another famous quote I heard before.
There we go.
If you don't make time for your health, you'll be sure to make time for your sickness.
Ooh.
Absolutely. It's the absolute truth.
That's the law of the universe, right
if
there.
You're not willing to make time for yourself, then Father Time's coming for you.
It seems like that's with everything. Like, we know we need to be saving for our future, saving for retirement. We know we need to be, thinking.
It's all common knowledge, but it seems so complex.
Yeah,
it seems so complex.
I promise you guys, it's not as hard as we make. Our minds are our own worst enemy, and they play devil little tricks on us all day long. Man. It is not as hard. We have to realize that, and we have to have this platform where everyone can kind of like, dude, it's not as hard to wake up at 6 a.m. as people make it seem. You know what I mean? Like, it's really not. And we're still able to go till 12, 2 in the morning when the party's there.
I'll have a good time. I'll be there all night. I'll be there until the sun comes up.
Sheesh.
Hey, but anyhow, I do want to also reach into another segment or kind of just section of prioritizing your time and time management. And it's time blocking. You can definitely utilize your time a lot better if you had something as a time blocker. You're set for this amount of time for the gym to getting ready in the morning. You're set for this much amount of time to get to work and start your work, and then you're going to have this much of a break. And if you prioritize your time in a blocking manner, who knows how effective you could possibly be. I actually have a calendar that I was gifted, shout out Luxury Escrow. That's my girl.
Let's go.
And it's a planner that'll show you every hour of the day that you should be awake and functioning from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. Very effective. I've been doing what I can to kind of just manage every hour as much as I can. Especially, not gonna lie, especially for the podcast the last week. I know this is kind of going to be our topic for this week, so I thought I'd really dial in a time blocking frame. And I'm really finding it effective, but at the same time, I fall short. But I think time blocking is one of those things. If you don't mind me asking, have you tried time blocking?
Yeah. I got it broken down. Basically, like, my week's been pretty consistent, dude. Monday through Friday, I paint houses, I go to the gym, and I try to eat healthy. That's basically what my week's been consistent of. And that's good for me. I need that. I need that structure. I need that boringness, right? Because, like, dude, I love to party, right? So it's like I'm always looking for an excuse, like, oh, dude, it's payday. Let's get some beers, or let's go out. Let's do this. Let's do that. Like, I'm starting to, I don't, and who knows? Maybe it is my older age. Maybe I don't want to say I'm getting old. I'm 28 now, but maybe it's I'm starting to value things differently, and like I don't want the unnecessary interaction, one night stand, yada yada, whatever. Like, I'm ready for wifey. Where you at, ma? Like, I'm ready. Like,
that's another question I wanted to ask you. Do you think
have her ass making tacos, cleaning and shit?
Do you think time blocking or maybe even time management has become something natural through your age, or do you think your age has affected your time prioritizing and you being more conscious of?
I think it's been a combo of both. I think it's been me getting older, and also me just my life experiences, like trying things, failing, realizing I'm getting older, realizing where I'm at in life, realizing I don't have much time to waste.
Valuing your
valuing time, like kind of valuing time a little bit more, instead of just being like, like I dude, to be honest, I didn't value time when I was like my early 20s. Like, I really didn't. Sounds stupid to say.
You assume that you're immortal almost.
Dude, it sounds really stupid to say it out loud.
Yeah, we're all like that. From 19 to for me, I was like 14 to like 21, just thinking I was immortal, just thinking that.
Yeah, no, seriously, like literally.
and dude, I literally like got cut. Hitting the gym as hard as I do, and my body's so sore I could barely walk upstairs. I'm like, dude, like, imagine somebody trying to jump me right now. Like, I wouldn't even be able to move. Dude, I wouldn't even be able to move.
No, yeah. So, like I said, I think it's a combination of both. Realizing where I'm at in life, getting older, trying, failing, that kind of deal. Not being happy with where I'm at, not being happy with myself.
Yeah.
Wanting more for myself, knowing I deserve more, knowing I'm destined for more. I have it in me. But yeah, so I've been implementing time blocking all week long, basically just from my morning routine to my work to my creative outlet and my side businesses, and then just to like doing homework, studying for the podcast, trying to just retain as much information and knowledge as I can.
Here's a powerful one. Here's a powerful question. How do you minimize distractions during your dedicated time blocks?
It's becoming easier for me. I don't know if it's just because I don't want to say like it's so fresh, because dude, we've been at this over 60 days, and like a lot of people be like, oh, I'm gonna start going to the gym. They fall off the second week, the third week. So 60 days is a good milestone. I don't want to give myself too much credit yet, and like ride that wave, but I think like for sure every other time I would have started doing something, I would have fallen off by now. But sorry, what was the question again?
How do you minimize distractions?
I think I minimize distractions by realizing that I don't have time to waste, bro. Like, I don't have time. Like,
Yeah. No, 100%.
I want a lot for myself, and I want a lot for everyone around me, and I don't feel like genuinely...
We had this conversation...
We need to sacrifice a little bit. We've spent too much time
enjoying ourselves.
Overindulging.
We got lucky. I mean, dude, Jimi Hendrix was dead by our age. I don't know if you guys knew what Jimi Hendrix is. I don't know if our audience is a little too young for that. Or Jim Morrison, or even Tupac, or even Tupac. Everyone knows Tupac. Biggie Smalls. At the age of 23, they had lived their full life of people that the influence they had led, that you guys know now. Tupac, he was 20, I believe 23 or 24 when they had... No more than 27 years old. I know that's a big gap.
No more than 25.
No more than 25. Killed.
Sure.
And... could you imagine that is the amount of capacity that 23 or 25-year-old had amassed for himself? That we still remember this guy that was killed in 95. 25 years ago. 26, 27 years ago. 28 years ago. Yeah, 28 years ago. Think about that. What do you think your day as a 27, 28-year-old living 3 years past this gentleman that died and amassed such a great value for himself and the world around him, how do you think you compare, and how do you like? I mean, do you really like? Can you really be okay with not producing your highest capacity, even if it's not Tupac status, even if it's not Biggie Smalls?
Like it's not like we understand it's not a competition, right? Like we all understand that. We're all mature enough to comprehend that. Like okay, but at the end of the day, dude, when I'm ready to throw in the towel or when my time comes, right? Like I want every ounce of that juice, whatever, to be wrung out. I want every ounce to.
I don't like going to sleep unless I know I gave the
dude
best I can to that day.
I don't like going to sleep unless I'm physically exhausted, mentally exhausted. Like I have a hard time wrapping my head. Like if I'm forcing myself to fall asleep, like which I've been telling you, right? Like it's becoming more challenging trying to get to bed at an early time because like my thoughts and my brain like won't shut off or whatever. But dude, like if I'm going through that, I know for a fact I have more juice in me and I'm not giving my all for that day. So that's just how I look at it. I want to be dog tired at the end of the day.
It's important. No, it's if you're not, then what do you do? I mean, if you're just like, oh my,
why are we not?
It's so it's mentally exhausting for me to sit here and be like, I watch TV all day long. I watch movies all day long. Like that's like sad for me. I feel bad for myself. I'm like, dude, what did I do? Like, what?
Personally, I like a nice movie day.
Dude, what did I do to myself? How could I let this happen?
That's this guy. Shit. But
anyways,
yeah.
Moving on.
Short story long.
Right. There is a method that some people talk about, the Pomodoro technique, which I mean, initially breaks down into short intervals of high focused work, high intensity, high focused work for a short period of time, whatever that means to you, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe an hour and a half, power hours, things like that. Me personally, I'm a very strong believer in power hours. I and focus in for an hour.
I like the hour too.
Get my phone out the way. I even delete apps. Yeah. For me personally, I delete apps.
He does.
Social media apps. I don't let them get in my way because I mean, dude, that one notification, that's it. I'm on my phone. And that one notification, it's like this person liked your dumb comment or whatever, and I'm like, I just go and see it. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Let me go see what other things are on. Go, okay, cool, okay, and then I'm there for another hour.
Yeah.
So I completely eliminate that distraction from me and get straight for an hour. I put a timer on my phone even. And just go straight into phone calls, straight into planning, straight into whatever that hour consists of to be effective, right? So I think that's a very powerful resource and tool. If you don't mind, Jake, excuse me, have you experimented with the Pomodoro technique? What benefits?
Yeah, no, I mean, in work and in the gym, I like to, I feel like I've always been a bit like that, being more susceptible to focusing in for a short amount of time. Because if you think about it, an 8-hour day is a pretty long day. So to think about an entire 8-hour day as one is pretty overwhelming. But if you break it down into sections, hour at a time, you get a couple of those hours knocked out, then you have lunch, then you're back at it, an hour here, an hour there, and during those hours you're being mindful to take your breaks, to take a second for yourself. I'm a big component of not giving yourself not giving 100%. Like obviously if you're at work, do the best job you can, especially if you want to go above and beyond and earn higher positions or whatever. But I'm a big component and we need to be working on ourselves more than we need to be working on other people. We need to be working on our dreams more than we need to be working for somebody else's dreams. Like I don't know. That's just how
it's a lot of these things that I'm asking are pretty easy if you have a job. Yeah. If you have I have to clock in at 8 a.m. and
right. That's why I want to know. Yeah, because so for me it's easy. Like I have consistent. I have a set lunch, so I know I'm able to break my day down into like 4 1-hour intervals when I'm able to take a break damn near every hour, as often as I want. Go smoke a vape, whatever. But yeah, so it's easier coming from my aspect. I'm more curious to hear about it coming from a entrepreneur's aspect or someone who is his own boss, someone who doesn't have like a set, like every hour is a work hour for you.
It's
So
hard.
like,
It's definitely hard. Even when it is, I mean, I try to look at things that like noon is lunchtime. I try to think of things as like in every hour in between. I try to look at things like an 8 to or 9 to 5 job. Is that what they call it? 9 to 5 job. I try to think these are the business hours. I try to realize that as a business entrepreneur, majority of the clients that I need to be reaching out to are being reached through 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I try to schedule that in a certain time to where I'm making phone calls or I'm planning my like schedule. I'm organizing by
before
9.
Before 9.
Before 9, yeah, exactly.
So by the time 9 o'clock hits, you're already dialing basically and on the phone with your first.
Exactly.
lead.
And that's why for me it's important to get up at 5 in the morning, go to the gym, and be there until about 6:37. So that way I get back at 7:15. I'm already showered and ready up by 8 o'clock, and then by 8 o'clock I'm having breakfast, sprucing up my, work area, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then planning by 9 o'clock that I'm making those phone calls and I'm getting started. And then that's kind of how I time block.
That's awesome.
And then I get into those intense intervals. I mean, I typically don't get straight into like the intense hour-long intervals like we were mentioning here until about like maybe mid-morning.
Okay.
Before lunch, because I feel like that's just
That's
personally.
That's
right. It's a personal thing for me.
Yeah.
But it definitely is a whole structural balance that you have to put forth for yourself.
Yeah.
To really operate at high efficiency, and I think that's why I'm very excited about this time management because as an entrepreneur, it's very important. Or as a self-employed individual, it is very important to kind of stay on top of those sort of things. So, really nice. And then, kind of what you have to come into when it comes to those hard intervals of work is those when and where you take a break, when and where you take a rest, and that's kind of what goes into our next topic is midday recharge.
Yeah.
We talk about working hard and grind 9 to 5. Don't stop. But like there's we're not robots. We got to stop for a couple minutes.
We're human. Yeah, we are human. But
So
we need to realize that.
it's important for us throughout our workday to realize our midday recharge, our mid-session recharge. Have a power hour, a power 2 hour. Work intensely for a short interval, 3 hours, 4 hours.
I'm sure if you are 25, 26, you felt that midday, like that midday comes around and it's just like 1 o'clock hits and you're like, dude, I could literally be fine just going home right now and taking a nap. Like,
just crashing completely, going to sleep.
We've all felt it.
Yeah.
But it's about realizing that midday drowsiness or whatever, the laziness that comes over us. I don't want to call it laziness, but
it's a groggy. Dude, I remember when I was a kid, I seen the 5-hour energy drink commercials, and it was like midday grogginess. I'm like, dude, how does anybody get tired in the middle of the day? I'm a little kid. I'm ready to go. But now I'm older. I'm like, oh, that's what they meant by midday grind. And I'm
now
literally like
2 a.m. to 5-hour energy.
Yeah, now I got a full-on subscription.
Straight to the door. Come straight to the door.
No, but there'll be times where I'm literally sitting at this exact desk, exact position, dialing phone calls, phone calls, and I'm slowly drifting away. And it wasn't until just recently when, you've helped me a lot, dude. I really, big ups to Jake Baker. This is my co-host, my best friend. This is the guy right here. He suggested just recently that I start standing up and pacing, maybe even during my phone calls.
Yeah, stretch,
phone call, stand here, and it's actually been really effective to just.
You've been doing it, huh?
Yeah, getting up, standing, and rather than sitting here
down,
and every second just getting
bad for
deeper
your posture,
and deeper.
Sitting all day. I feel like unless you're, you know what I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I could sit here for 20, maybe 2 minutes and be like
rock, huh?
And then just shortly but slowly, not even realize it, and next thing I know, I'm sitting here dialing.
Yeah.
But no, and the biggest thing is it's very important to take those breaks and really just congratulate yourself, breathe.
Midday recharge,
definitely.
And I think a lot of things can apply to that. Maybe go for a walk, clear your head, get away. for me, for instance, I'm on a construction site. I'm at a house. I'm painting houses. I bring my lunch, but I'll even pull off the job site just to get a different scenery for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Go walk around the store.
Would you say
I won't even buy anything. I'll just, you know what I mean? Go walk around the store, the Ralph's out there in Palm Desert or whatever. You see some, like, just interesting people. You know?
Might even see an interesting meat on the deli area. What
have you? Yeah, what have you?
That's funny. No, that's cool. No, that's great. And that's actually one of the questions I was going to ask you is how do you choose the ideal intervals for your... I'm sorry. How do you choose the ideal recharge activities?
Yeah. I just try to be conscious about it, realizing.
Stepping off of the site and going to go to Ralph's and whatever that's a good one.
Yeah,
I like that.
And dude, that's just simply for the fact that I don't want to look at these ugly freaking grumpy dudes all day long. Like I have to work with
an hour. Let me just break away.
I don't want to go sit down with them and talk to them any more than I have to. Like, shout out to my boss and shit, but like,
no, it's all love. It's all love. I hear it.
Yeah, because I told him about the podcast, so you might see this, but it is what it is, right?
It's all good. No, it's all love, I'm sure.
Dude, for sure. Just like I already deal with them enough hours on in the day. Like I want a little bit of a break. If maybe I can talk to a cute girl or meet a new networking thing or like whatever. What you know? 100%. I like it. Just breaking away, getting a different change of scenery, feeling different environment. I like it. And then also incorporating a healthy snack, like, you know, getting a bag of trail mix. That's like my favorite thing to do is just go, like, break away and grab, like, a healthy juice. A healthy, like, just something conscious that I know is adding value. Like, I'm not going to McDonald's and getting a Big Mac, like, where I know, I shouldn't be eating McDonald's, but I'm hungry.
I think the biggest thing, too, is to realize is it's not about pleasure. I was going to say another word. I was going to say dopamine, but I don't want to like challenge too many people. I don't want to challenge too many people. But it's definitely about pleasure. When you pleasure, when you're looking for just a break, it's not about finding the exciting thing that's going to excite you for that hour. It might be just
I do struggle with that sometimes.
You know, it's not about going to the bar and taking a quick shot.
I struggle with that sometimes. Literally, dude, yeah. And I'll hold myself accountable to this, that I'm trying really hard to quit the nicotine. The damn little puff bars or whatever they are, the elf bars, all those things. Dude, I'm trying really hard to quit them. It's not, like, if I'm not working every day, it's not as hard for me, right? Because, like, I can fill myself with things that I want to be doing. I don't want to be there at work, so it's just like I fiend for it. I don't know why, but it like, dude, I tried so hard to like not buy one, and literally I find myself every time I'm like, I'm gonna go to work, I'm not gonna buy a Nick this week, I'm gonna do good this week. Dude, by lunchtime I'm fiending. I'm just like, dude, fuck this, like I need to go find a smoke shop or like whatever, and it's so terrible. But that's something I'm really trying to dial in.
That's good. That's good.
Okay. So shout out to the chat. Maybe that should be your goal, to maybe stop one day. That's the thing, is I'm able to stop one day. So it's like it's this weird thing I'm battling with, because like, dude, I can stop for one day. I can stop for 2 days. I can stop for a week. You know what I'm saying? But all it takes is for like Lil Joseph to come around with his Nick, and then me be like, like if I see it, then I'm like, let me hit that, whatever. Just all downhill from there.
I never realized how addicting those things could be.
They suck, dude.
Really?
I used to hate them. The only reason I got so addicted to them was I stopped smoking weed to get in the oil field. Yeah, and
like just puff on this, man, and
and then sure as shit, just trading one addiction for the other. It's like, it's pointless, it's stupid, and it's even worse than weed, I feel like.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, shout out to you, Mimi Hiha. Who's that?
I don't know, but we appreciate you, babe. We appreciate you for showing up. We appreciate the love.
Just wondering if we knew you in person or not. But yeah, no, shout out. That is, you know, I'm going to take you up on it. I'm not going to smoke it all tomorrow. How about that?
Now, we definitely, that's why we love having you guys on the chat right now. We definitely love you guys challenging us. We definitely want to challenge you guys. We hope that, you guys can also tell us if there's any humming or anything like that in the microphone.
Bad quality, like,
any bad feedback.
Give it to us straight.
Yeah.
I know the video quality ain't 100% good. I know this angle, that
You like that one?
That one's pretty fire. Let us know, guys. That one's
Except
fire.
for the guy in the middle. That guy's like
dude,
freaking
we can
bad
change.
posture.
Yeah,
No.
we can edit that out. Don't
We edit that guy out of here. No, but I do want to kind of touch on the subject of obviously using the technology, using the apps and your phone, setting an alarm when it comes to you doing your work for an hour or two. Like, let's say for me, I have to make a set of phone calls. Mm-hmm. So I set my alarm for a lot of times an hour. When I really passionate, I set it up for 2 hours, and I'll just get straight to dialing. And I realized no distractions. When I turn on my phone, it says 2 hours left. I'm like, okay, 2 hours left or an hour and a half left of straight work. Let me get back to work. Let me make these emails and make these phone calls. Let me do what I have to do, right? And I think that's very important to utilize this little piece of, high-end technology at this point that can really take us, a lot of places.
What did you say? What did you say to me about the cell phones that we have? The power that's in the cell phone. Was that you that was saying that to me? Might have been something else. I forget exactly what the word for word was, but it was just like what people were doing, like the advanced level of technology, back 20 years ago, what people were doing on computers, like we're easily able to do.
On 20 years ago, I actually, my client that I'm working with right now, he's like, he's 75 years old, and he said he remembers, and he's actually like a tech expert in his.
Those guys are interesting.
Oh, dude, he's like he said he started off with like the first typewriter and he advanced to like a Macintosh, and then now he has like a watch and the phone and he's got the
he's locked in.
He's Apple, and he's 75 years old, and he's like the Apple tablet. I can't remember what Apple Pad or whatever the fuck it's called. iPad.
Michael don't even know.
Exactly. No, exactly. And this guy's on top of it. And
dude's locked in to reality. No. Shout out Levi. Locked into reality.
Yeah. You gotta tap in.
Tap into reality.
Yeah. And he's really savvy in it. But I asked him, because I sat with him for breakfast for a little while yesterday, and we were talking about.
Is that the guy, Paul?
Paul, yeah. And I was big up Paul, shout out Paul. And we were talking about how technology's changed, and obviously it's changed so much. It's kind of a redundant conversation to have with him, but I was like, literally, you probably remember when the computer was basically a typewriter and a calculator at the same time. He's like, well, that's all computers really were at the time.
Wow.
He's like 3 rows of whatever. I remember having a pager, and I was like, so what is a pager? They say this person Jesse Jackson wants you to call them at this number. He's like, no, it would just say the number. And I was like, the number wants you to call them? He's like, no, not they want you to call them, just the number. And I'm like,
what does the number mean?
Yeah, what do you mean?
So everybody had different numbers and shit, and it was like if somebody paged you, it meant that they wanted you to call them?
Yeah, no, it's literally a page on a little thing, and read a number, and it's like, call that number. Like, it just
not call the number on the pager, but hey, call the
universally known.
Whoever 818-772.
Yeah, dude.
Call their phone number.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, what? Are you kidding me?
That's interesting.
So, now we have so much technology that we can utilize, and we can literally organize. In artificial intelligence now is even coming to play, to where we can download apps and have it structure our time, our schedule. Like, say that we have these many things to do this many times a week. At this, you can even implement where we have important things that we have to schedule in, and it schedules those things in for you. I think it's very important to utilize those things and then kind of just advance with those things. Apps, time management apps, things like that. It's very crucial. So
we should be utilizing them, especially if we're walking around with it in our pocket already, right?
Exactly. They've actually. I'm sure this is a really popular one people talk about is that the technology they used to get to the moon. I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know if the moon is actually a mission. Whatever. It's for another podcast. But
do you guys want to see that type of stuff?
Let us know in the chat if you guys are willing to listen to like day-to-day conspiracy type stuff like that. But anyways, if the moon landing were to be true, they say that the technology they had to get on the moon,
That's what it was. That's what it was.
We have 100 times more of that capacity in our cell phones. So, but
That's
to
what
think about
was.
it like that, we have so much capacity in our pockets
Mm-hmm.
that it's almost inevitable for them to be like, that's a powerful tool. We need to stop them from using it as a tool
And how do
and
we do that?
distract them.
Uh-huh.
Tell them to, whatever. But again, let's not. That's for another podcast.
Okay, that's fair.
But I do definitely recommend utilizing technology.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is there any productivity apps or tools that you find useful to stay organized?
Alarm clock, calendar, reminders on the iPhone. Every dollar, like you mentioned, every dollar. That one's a game changer, especially if you're having a hard time keeping track of your finances. Just seeing the numbers really help.
Mm-hmm.
And My Fitness Pal, that one for me, because I'm a big component. I'm a big believer in tracking your calories. If you want to lose weight, track your calories. If you want to gain weight, track your calories. It's as simple as that. It doesn't like there's no all these diets that come out every year, the keto diet, the carnivore diet, the yada yada yada, the fish diet, this and that. They're all the same. Like they're okay, they're
Breaks
not all
down
the
the same
same.
science.
You get you're achieving the same result, and it's simply by either eating less or eating more to either lose weight or to gain weight.
Yeah.
So it's like quit making things so complicated and just realize the simplicity of things and just do what works. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah,
Kids.
100%.
But yeah, not to get off on that, MyFitnessPal, check that out if you guys are into fitness. It literally lets you you can take a picture of the barcode on your bag of chips. You literally take a picture of the barcode and it pulls up all the macros for it, everything to the T, and it tracks it for you. So you type in 2,500 calories for the day. You take a picture of everything you eat and it tracks it for you.
Wow.
It's badass.
It's pretty powerful.
No, so I'm a big believer in that technology, but also get off the social media. Utilize technology in a good way, and don't utilize the negative things of technology. Try to minimize it.
It's
just
a
say
distraction. It's limiting you from your full potential, and it's
Yeah.
keeping you away from being that warrior in the garden rather than the gardener in the war.
Unless you're looking up things like this, like self-help things, how to be better, how to become a better person, how do I
Stay more organized. How do I use my time more effectively?
Unless you're being productive with it, it's not a tool.
Mm-mm.
So
there is tools, there is resources behind social media. Of course, that's why we're
shout out
advocates.
Lucas Chick.
We're definitely advocates of social media and at the right advantage. We definitely want to be the better resource through social media by providing this type of information. So we're really happy to be here for you guys. And hopefully you guys find value in this and just kind of just stick with us and just really just provide your guys' insight and your guys' value as much as, the next. But another thing that I want to touch on, and it's really crucial to me, it's one of the most important things, is saying no to stay focused. Saying, like we had this plan before, saying no to the unplanned plans. It's Monday. We talked about you have to go to work and this and that. Monday morning comes, hey dude, somebody said that like if we just there might be a cool thing going on in Anaheim or something, whatever. And
Spur of the moment type of.
Or even on a Friday night, let's say it's more realistic, like you're done with work and now it's like we were planning on doing the podcast tonight. And someone was to be like, hey, oh, dude, we got to like...
and it sounds fun.
Yeah, we got a cool thing going out in another city, maybe an hour and a half away, or maybe 2 hours away. Oh, we can easily be like, you know what, we can hold the podcast off and just move on. But we have to be like, no.
Yeah.
Our priority is our time and the time we've planned out already, the time blocked already for the podcast. We can't just say, yeah, let's up and jump and go to the saying no, big one, but also saying no to the unplanned plans is very important. Make your plan, stick to your priorities, and get it done. Stand on business. That's what we're about. That's why we're here. We hope to really just shed that light on you guys. Is saying no to stay focused. Jake, if you don't mind me asking, how do you decide when to say no when
when I know things aren't good for me, or when I know. Well, I will say, we're all our own individuals, so it's not necessarily hard for me to say no, but
Better yet, when has saying no positively influenced your productivity?
ooh. Well, I can probably tell you a better example of when not saying no did that basically just the opposite effect of me losing my phone at countdown.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was
Tell us what happened.
Was super set on not going.
Your plan was to not go.
My plan was to not go because I wanted to be locked in. It would have been so easy
trying
to go.
Say no. You trying to stay no.
I was trying very hard, and I don't want to say like it's my fault at the end of the day, but it makes it that much harder by seeing my friends go and this and that, and just being like, oh well, fuck, I'm really gonna miss out on this, like.
It's easier
really
for some people to
this?
say no than it is for people.
Right.
I mean, like you see
but
something.
But long story short, I had it set in my mind that I wasn't gonna go, and I ended up caving, and I went anyways, and I got my phone stolen out of my pocket.
Yeah.
Straight robbed, like straight.
Ended up finding it in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. A week later.
A week later, it was pinged in Hong Kong.
Yeah. Trying to get
Yeah.
No. Access my Apple Pay card or whatever. I was like.
Oh no! Dang! No, it's
Wow.
It's definitely tough.
But yeah, so there's a good example of how when I knew I was going to say no and I didn't want to go and I didn't even want to go, like
yeah.
Okay, don't get me wrong. I wanted to go. No, I had a great time.
He's lying to you guys.
Yeah.
All you guys that want to go to a rave, do it. Go to the rave.
No, it's
just
great.
make sure your phone doesn't get stolen.
That's what ruined
Once
it.
in a lifetime experience.
I had a great time. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I had it set in my mind that I wasn't gonna go. I was gonna stand on business. I was gonna lock in. And I did.
P.S. Go to the rave.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Just kidding. No.
Don't stand on business. Go
yeah, just kidding. No. Handle business, and then when it comes time. Yeah. But anyways, that's very powerful. I really like that example, and that's actually good enough for our viewers. Even the Lucas chick, I really appreciate that. Claudia, have you ever wanted to say no to temptation but have regrets because of the outcome? That's basically a good.
Yeah, I regretted.
That's a good example right there.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let's get straight. To talking about how powerful and effective managing your time can really just add to who you are and the way you execute your tasks and go about your day.
Well, I think for me it genuinely sets me up. It's building blocks. I have to master this in order to move on to the next process that's going to allow me to continue to grow.
It's all trickling in.
And the momentum is there. The progress is there. I'm happy with where I'm at. That's all I can say.
Don't stop.
I'm not. I have no intentions on letting up, not even the slightest.
Good. And for the next week, I guess I wanted to ask, what do you plan to implement to kind of, because again, it is a struggle to continue to try every day, multiple things.
I think little things throughout the week is working pretty good for me so far. Fitness wise, I think I'll start bringing my notebook and tracking my progress. Progressive overload, really get that muscle hypertrophy.
System wise, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. I like that. Time management.
Okay.
Let's talk systems and let's talk time management. What do you think is your systems are? Go ahead again,
my system, for my gym or my morning routine. Okay,
right.
That is the system.
Same thing. Yeah.
Same thing.
I like that.
So yeah, that getting it dialed in, and so continuing to do that while also adding while I'm at the gym, bringing my notebook,
perfect,
doing progressive note taking, trying to get stronger, trying to do more reps, that kind of deal.
And I even challenge you to track the time.
The time. Oh, that I'm there. Ooh.
Timestamp the
Fair
workout.
Enough. Fair enough. That's actually something that I won't lie that I kind of cheated out on a little bit today. I got a really good chest pump, and I was like, skimped out on the other. I made sure I hit my chest and my arms really good.
That's good. No, it's good that you're thinking of it that way. I was mostly just saying that what time you got there and what time you left. Yeah.
But that's what was playing into it. Was like I left earlier than I should because I was going I wasn't pushing myself, right? But this guy wasn't in the gym with me this morning. Usually,
excuse me?
He helps push me, bro.
You gotta let these people know that I tried to make it. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No, that's great. For me personally, I think that the time blocking has really helped. I think I have this book, like I showed you guys before. The time blocking, writing every hour out, and I do start my days at 5 a.m. as of lately. So I think this is going to be a very powerful and effective tool to use.
I don't really see that book yet.
Yeah, I know it's a great book. Again, shout out Luxury Escrow. They gave me a quick hookup on this, and I can't appreciate it enough. But I got to utilize it to show that I appreciate it, right? So hour to hour scheduling and time blocking, I definitely need to prioritize more of what I have going on up here, but that's just stuff for me. I am really excited to just continue time blocking and continue organizing my time and managing my time better. As far as my systems, I plan to continue using the financial app EveryDollar to continue to really hone in on saving and putting up, because I have actually benefited from that a lot. I know I touched on that earlier in the episode, but we are coming to an end now. Very excited.
Let's touch some chats really quick before we end anything.
Definitely. We want to shout out the chat really quick to let you guys know how appreciative we are of you guys. So many good, valuable conversations. Fem for life. We love you, Ari. You're the best. Mimi Ha. You're the best. Don Dico. That was a strong contribution to the show, to the episode. I couldn't think of it. It had such a mind blank. Joshy, you're the man. I can't wait to see more content from you and your boy. That guy seems like a natural born actor. He's sweet. Cool. And Lucas Chick, always can count on you to provide some value. We appreciate that very much. High Fuse Session, that guy seems like a twerp. And but just again, we want to just shout you guys out and thank you so much for joining in on the show and contributing all the value. We hope that we can obviously provide the same value, and if we can leave you guys with anything, think about this question: how do you envision these productivity techniques shaping your daily life? Really just, you don't have to answer it to us, just
journal it, write it down.
Write it down.
Say it to yourself.
And catch us in the next episode. We're super excited. Jake, anything else for the team?
No, it was a pleasure. Thank you guys for tuning in and giving us your time. Thank you for spending the Friday night with us. It was awesome.
So much fun.
Yeah, had a great time.
Much love.
Thank you, everybody.
Peace.